The Galactic Council Hall was completely silent. Hundreds of alien leaders sat in a wide circle, watching one human standing alone in the center. His name was Ambassador Daniel Cross. His hands were tied, but his face was calm. Around him stood 6 Varkon soldiers with weapons pointed at his chest. Supreme Chancellor Varric looked down at Daniel from a high platform. Earth has one last chance, Varric said. Bow to the Varkon Empire or die. Daniel slowly looked around the hall. No alien leader spoke for him. Some looked afraid. Others looked away. Daniel understood the truth. The Varkon believed humanity was weak because humans had always asked for peace. Varric smiled. Your people cannot save you. Daniel looked directly at him. Then he gave a small smile. Earth does not bow. The hall became silent again. Varric's smile disappeared. Execute him. The soldiers raised their weapons. But Daniel quietly pressed a tiny button hidden inside his sleeve. A secret signal left the council station. Seconds later, the weapons fired. Daniel Cross fell to the floor. The human ambassador was dead. For hours, nothing happened. No human warship arrived. No threat came from Earth. The Varkon leaders began to laugh. General Threx turned toward Varric. Humans finally understand their place. Far away, inside Earth's military headquarters, a red light suddenly appeared. Then another. Then hundreds. Hidden shipyards opened. Old warships came online. Secret defense systems woke from years of silence. President Marcus Hale entered the command room. Admiral Elena Voss stood beside a large screen. Daniel's final message was waiting there. Only 4 words were written on it. Protocol Black is confirmed. Elena looked at the president. Do we still negotiate? Marcus stared at the message for several seconds. Then he answered quietly. No. At that moment, thousands of human warships began leaving their hidden bases, and the galaxy had no idea what was coming. The first human ships crossed the Varkon border without warning. At first, General Threx was not worried. His officers showed him the old galactic records. Earth had a small defense fleet. Nothing more. Threx laughed. Then destroy them. But the first battle lasted only 9 minutes. The Varkon lost 12 warships. The humans lost none. Threx stopped smiling. The human ships did not fight like normal fleets. They moved in small groups, attacked from long range, and disappeared before the Varkon could answer. Then something worse happened. 3 Varkon communication stations went dark at the same time. A military-fueled base exploded. 2 weapon factories stopped responding. No one understood how the humans had reached them so quickly. On the bridge of the human command ship, Admiral Elena Voss watched the enemy map. She remained calm. Do not attack civilian areas, she ordered. Only military targets. Her officers obeyed. Humanity was angry, but it was not fighting without control. That frightened the Galactic Council even more. One alien leader whispered they could destroy cities, but they are choosing not to. Hours later, General Threx received another report. The human force attacking the border was called the First Expedition Fleet. He stared at the screen. First, his intelligence officer looked nervous. Yes, General. Threx slowly turned toward him. Where's our main fleet? The officer had no answer. At that same moment, a Varkon scout ship entered the solar system. Its crew expected to find only a few human defenses. Instead, their sensors detected a huge shadow moving behind Earth's moon. The scout sent one image before its signal vanished. Threx opened the file. His face turned pale. A massive human warship filled the screen. It was larger than anything in the Varkon Navy. Across its dark hull were 3 words. Terran Command Ship, Resolute. Then a final message appeared. Main fleet ready. Supreme Chancellor Varric watched the battle reports in silence. Human ships had already destroyed several military stations, and the Varkon border was starting to collapse. But Varric refused to accept defeat. If humans want war, he said, then we will show them real war. General Threx looked at him. What are your orders? Varric pointed toward a small human colony near the edge of Varkon space. Attack their civilians. Threx hesitated for a moment. Then he obeyed. 6 Varkon warships moved toward the colony. The human settlement looked weak. Only mining stations and small transport ships could be seen. The Varkon commander smiled. Easy target. He gave the order to fire. But before the weapons could launch, the darkness around the colony suddenly changed. Hidden defense platforms came online. Dozens of guns turned toward the Varkon ships. The commander's smile disappeared. Seconds later, 3 Varkon ships were destroyed. The others tried to escape. Only one survived. Back on the Resolute, Admiral Elena Voss received the report. Her face became cold. They attacked civilians. An officer nodded. Yes, Admiral. Elena stood slowly. Then we begin Silent Hammer. Across Varkon space, strange things started happening. Military bases lost power. Supply stations went silent. Command ships disappeared from radar. No one saw the human attackers. No one knew where they came from. The Varkon soldiers became afraid of every shadow. Then General Threx received a private message. It was from Admiral Voss. Surrender now. Your civilians will not be harmed. Threx deleted the message. He still believed fear would save the Empire. Then a new warning appeared on his screen. A human fleet had crossed the final defense line. Destination: Karos, the Varkon homeworld. Threx stared at the map. Admiral Voss was not coming for another battle. She was coming for Varric. Karos was ready for war. More than 6,000 Varkon ships surrounded the homeworld. Heavy cannons guarded the planet. Missile stations covered every moon. Supreme Chancellor Varric stood inside his command center and smiled. This is where humanity dies. General Threx was less confident. He had seen what human ships could do. Then the warning came. Human fleet detected. Varric turned toward the main screen. Only 800 human ships appeared. For a moment, nobody spoke. Then Varric laughed. They came here with 800 ships? Admiral Elena Voss stood on the bridge of the Resolute. She could see thousands of enemy ships ahead. Her officers waited for orders. Move forward, she said. The battle began. Varkon ships attacked from every direction. Human ships fired back, but slowly they were pushed toward Karos. Several human vessels were damaged. One exploded. Varric raised his arms. We are winning. But Elena did not look worried. She checked the time. Now. Suddenly, hundreds of silent objects appeared near the moons of Karos. They were human attack drones. They had arrived days earlier and hidden without power. The drones attacked Varkon engines, weapons, and communication systems. The Varkon formation broke apart. Then space behind them flashed. Another human fleet appeared. Then another. Threx's eyes widened. The first 800 ships had never been the real attack. They were bait. The Varkon fleet was trapped. Within hours, thousands of Varkon ships surrendered. Threx tried to escape, but the Resolute disabled his ship. Human soldiers captured him alive. During his interrogation, Threx suddenly laughed. Admiral Voss stared at him. What is funny? Threx leaned closer. You think you saved Earth? Elena said nothing. His smile became wider. Before your ambassador died, Varric launched something toward your planet. Elena's face changed. What? Threx whispered. A weapon your defenses were never meant to stop. At that moment, an emergency signal arrived from Earth. Unknown object detected. Direct course, Earth. The warning spread across Earth in seconds. An unknown object was moving through the solar system. Fast. Too fast. Inside Earth Command, officers watched the red signal on the main screen. President Marcus Hale stood behind them. How long? An officer looked at the data. Less than 20 minutes. The room became silent. Admiral Elena Voss was still near Karos, thousands of light years away. She received the message on the Resolute. What kind of weapon is it? General Threx sat under guard nearby. He gave a dark smile. Something built to kill a world. The object suddenly split into hundreds of smaller signals. Earth defense computers became confused. Decoys, an officer said. No, Marcus replied. One of them is real. Missiles launched from Mars. Defense ships opened fire. Dozens of targets vanished. But more kept coming. The real weapon was still hidden among them. People across Earth looked toward the sky. No one knew if they had minutes left to live. Then an old officer inside Earth Command spoke. Sir, there is one system left. Marcus turned. What system? Guardian Zero. The room froze. Guardian Zero had not been used for almost 60 years. It was built before humanity ever met aliens. Marcus gave one order. Wake it up. Deep beneath the moon, ancient machines came alive. A hidden cannon slowly turned towards space. Its computer ignored the decoys. It searched for heat, mass, movement. Then it found one target, the real weapon. Lock confirmed. Marcus stared at the screen. Fire. A single beam crossed the darkness. For 3 seconds, nothing happened. Then the red signal disappeared. Earth had survived. But on Kairos, Varric received news. His final weapon had failed. He slammed his fist against the table. If I cannot defeat humanity, he shouted, then Kairos will burn with them. He ordered his own troops to destroy the capital. Admiral Voss heard the transmission. Her eyes became cold. She opened a channel to Varric. You have 10 minutes. Varric laughed. And then Elena answered quietly. Then humanity ends this war. 10 minutes passed slowly over Kairos. Supreme Chancellor Varric stayed inside his palace. He expected the humans to destroy the city. They did not. Instead, every Varkon weapon around the capital suddenly lost power. Defense towers went dark. Military ships stopped moving. Communication systems failed. Varric stared at the screens. What did they do? No one answered. Then human dropships entered the atmosphere. Admiral Elena Voss watched from the Resolute. Her order was simple. Take Varric alive. Protect the civilians. Human soldiers landed around the palace. The Varkon guards tried to fight, but their weapons had already been disabled. Within minutes, the palace was surrounded. Varric ran toward a secret escape tunnel. He opened the door. 3 human soldiers were already waiting. For the first time, Varric looked afraid. Later, he was taken before the Galactic Council. The same hall where Ambassador Daniel Cross had died was silent again. But this time, humanity was not standing there in chains. Varric was. President Marcus Hale faced the council. Daniel Cross came here asking for peace, he said. You answered him with death. Several alien leaders lowered their eyes. Marcus continued. Humanity could have burned Kairos. We did not. The Varkon Empire was forced to release every world it had conquered. Its war fleet was broken apart. Its leaders were removed from power. Then Earth demanded one new galactic law. No ambassador under peaceful protection could ever be executed again. Years later, a statue of Daniel Cross stood outside the council hall. Under it were simple words. He came in peace. One day, a young officer asked Admiral Voss a question. Does the galaxy fear humanity now? Elena looked toward Earth. No, she said. They finally understand us. Humanity had offered peace first. The galaxy had chosen war. And every world now knew one truth. Human mercy was powerful, but human wrath was something no empire ever wanted to face again.